Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Cut the Western Shit. Now before we get into the show, I'd like to give a personal thank you to Twitter, Reddit, Twitch chat, LCS players, and even Riot Games themselves for creating an endless stream of bullshit worthy of a show on my channel. Thanks for the content, guys. Without further ado, the subject that we'll be getting into today is Rekkles' theatrical performance that he displayed after Fnatic's loss to RNG. Here's the clip.
They will now face SKT in the semi-final. Another team who also wants to play for late game, so should be a very
difficult emotions on the side of Fnatic, but let's be honest. We heard it, emotional words, emotional stories. He actually said, this might be my lost worlds.
And it is the summer split MVP of the ULCS who missed the final in the ULCS. Moved on to Worlds though because they won the gauntlet.
Very tough moment for him here, wanting to win the on those items instead of buying pink wards, instead of helping to control vision.
And we've been teasing the matchup all day. The 280 carries, Muzzy.
Now, obviously, this reaction sparked some controversy in the community as to what Rekkles' motives were for staying in that chair and refusing to bow with the rest of his team. Now, people didn't know if Rekkles was doing a sponsored segment for Superglue, whether he just didn't care about the rest of his team's emotions, or if he had been anally ravaged by Muzzy so hard that he was rendered completely unable to walk after the matches. Now, I know that the general League community might have some issues with critical thinking, so I'm just gonna spell out my argument at the beginning of the video. I'm not saying that Rekkles has had a bad career. I actually think he's had a great career. And I don't think that he's a bad player, nor do I think that I am a better player or that I had a better career than Rekkles. What I do think is that his reactions were over-exaggerated and contrived. In no way do I believe his reactions to be authentic, and I'm going to show you guys why. Now, when someone puts their emotions on display in front of millions of people, you kind of have to look at the context as to why they're so upset. And by all accounts, this was a massive overperformance from Fnatic. Fnatic came into this tournament as the number 3 seed from Europe, and with 2 rookies, they had to battle through play-ins. Now, after a 0-4 start in group stage, they're able to miraculously battle back and win the last 4 games of the group stage, thanks to that great North American collapse and some great play by Soaz. Now, going into the quarterfinals versus RNG, no analyst of merit actually predicted Fnatic to win. Most people predicted a 3-0 or 3-1 victory for RNG based off how they played in their group stage, winning out their group over the likes of Samsung Galaxy. And to be completely honest, this series was not actually close at all. The only game Fnatic won this series came off the back of some good split pushing by Soaz, but primarily Muzzy running it straight down mid as Kog'Maw, inting into both Nexus turrets, face tanking them until death, and losing the game for his team pretty much single-handedly. Now, as a former LCS player, one thing that you eventually end up realizing is that the people that spend the most time with you, the people that experience all the highs and lows of any natural team environment, the people that you have to rely on day in and day out, end up knowing your personality better than anyone else. Based off that concept, a good way to judge the authenticity of Rekkles' reaction is to survey the response of his teammates to watching their fearless leader cry.
Has struggled, but until today had risen to every single threat in front of them.
They were the underdogs, but it was a close.
Now, they didn't even bother to fucking console him. Either Jesses, Soaz, Caps, and Broxa are some of the most heartless motherfuckers on this planet, or they are used to Rekkles wanting the solo spotlight and displaying himself as this super caring martyr that he so desperately wants everyone to see him as. Now, through my intense research of every Twitch VOD imaginable, I was actually able to uncover the audio between Soaz and Rekkles after the match. I cannot carry on these dog jumps. Not again with the crying. I'm just going to go backstage and eat a baguette. Another obvious contradiction in this whole fiasco is the fact that Rekkles kept on covering his face while crying as if to hide the fact that he was crying from people, while also sitting on stage for an extra 15 minutes. Look, you can't have it both ways. Either cover your face, hide the fact that you're crying, and get off the fucking stage, or just let everyone see your eyes, let the tears flow, and give us a good, solid, ugly cry. Embellishing your emotions or overreacting to something in order to gain sympathy is actually one of the most common PR tactics that people use. This was most famously done by Logan Paul in his "These Glasses Cured My Colorblindness" video, which propelled him to being the most watched channel on the entire YouTube platform. If you haven't seen the video already, here is the most famous clip from it. I think iDubbbz explains my thoughts on this perfectly.
I think he's colorblind. However, I think he's playing it up to a degree that makes me think that he might not actually just be colorblind. He might actually be also retarded.
You know, if you take out the word colorblind and replace it with sad about losing in quarters, it actually completely explains my thoughts on the entire Rekkles situation. I wasn't the only person that called out Rekkles' reactions as being contrived. Forgiven went on Twitter implying that Rekkles was using the camera to his advantage in order to increase PR, as well as calling Rekkles' actions as pre-planned and not authentic. Obviously, because of this, Forgiven received a lot of hate on Reddit. I'm not here to defend Forgiven's hairline or claim that he's not toxic. However, I will say that Forgiven has always been a no bullshit type of guy, and this is another example of him displaying that. I guess while shooting this video, I've realized that I could just be wrong about everything. I mean, no one could really know what is in Rekkles' head besides for Rekkles himself. I mean, maybe I could just take some of the things that he did and apply it to my own brand. Yeah, and that's going to be it for today. Thanks, guys, for watching the stream. Make sure to follow my social media, and I'll be on tomorrow, same time. See you guys. Wow, look at how much he cares. He really has a great passion for the game. You know, I really sympathize with him. What a classy streamer. He really puts everything on the line. What a display of natural human emotions. He's like the Jesus Christ of League of Legends, dying for our sins. What a display of natural human emotions. I guess the last point I'll address in this video is the fact that Rekkles said this could be one of his last world championships. Well, listen up, dumbasses. This could be anyone's last world championship. This could be Faker's fucking last world championship. So that point doesn't matter at all. Let me tell you a story about a jungler in Season 2 who rose to the top of the North American solo queue ladder, only to land himself on one of the best teams in North America named Team Dignitas. The team fought and won the Curse Invitationals, and then went on to IEM Hanover, where they placed second, only falling to the best team in the world at that time, Moscow 5. The team fought and battled over and over again, placing top 3 tournament after tournament, until they got to the North American Regionals, where they placed second and made it to the World Championships in 2012. However, an unfortunate circumstance happened. The strats of that team were leaked, and the team ended up going 0-3 in the first round of the World Championships, being eliminated in last place. Everyone thought Dignitas is always one of the best teams. They'll be back next year. They'll bounce back for this. But then down came Jason Katz and decided he was going to ban one of the members of Team Dignitas, and that player was never seen at the World Championships again. That player was me, and no one from Team Dignitas ever saw the World Championships again. So why don't you just fucking cry for us? But I don't think I deserve a sob story. But Dom, the reason you never got back was because you were toxic. Rekkles isn't toxic like you. Well, guess what? I'm not a quivering pussy like Rekkles, so I guess we came out even on that front. So yeah, that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. This is the first piece of content I've done on my channel of this nature. So tell me in the comment section below whether you enjoyed it, whether you didn't enjoy it, or what topics you would want me to cover next. But remember, guys, until next time, peace.